I'm keeping myself, I'm keeping myself. All the young ladies from everywhere. All the young women from across the world. We're keeping ourselves, keeping ourselves, keeping ourselves, keeping ourselves.
Hello, my name is Odessa Smith. I am from the Don't Risk It Foundation, where our motto is rescuing our youth from AIDS and teen pregnancy. We combine educational, medical, and psychological research along with biblical stories from the Bible and present it unto you in a very compelling but appropriate fashion. We are a youth empowerment group. AIDS is real and it kills. Worldwide, over 30 million people have died from AIDS. And in America, over 600,000 people have died from AIDS. Sex has dominated the minds of Americans and beyond. But don't buy into the sex hype delusion. There was a young woman in the Bible. Her name was Gomer. She was raised by ungodly parents in an ungodly community. They sold their bodies for money, even Gomer. But one day, she met a man named Hosea. He loved her, and he married her. And because Gomer man was stuck on sex and not love, she went back to having sex for money. And she found herself in the end on a stage being sold as a slave to the highest bidder. They started the bidding, and in the end, she was sold to the highest bidder. And the highest bidder was Hosea, her husband, the one that loved her, the one that was with her all the time. Young people, family would be there for you when others will walk away and leave you. But good choices create good circumstances and consequences. There was another young woman in the Bible who was raised by ungodly parents in an ungodly community, and her name was Ruth. She was married to a Christian husband who had a Christian mother named Naomi. But one day she encountered a terrible tragedy in her life because her husband died. And she found herself at the crossroads in life. Do she go back to an ungodly community, or do she come up with another plan? So she went and asked her mother-in-law, Naomi, could she return home with her? At first, Naomi refused her. But because Ruth insisted to go with her mother-in-law, she allowed her to return home to her homeland. And this is what I like about this young lady, Ruth. She wasn't a lazy young lady, but she was a productive young lady. For she asked her mother-in-law, could she go out in the field to work? And while she was out there in the field working, young people, a rich, handsome young man named Boaz came back. And he asked the workers who she was. And he began to tell him who she was. Then he went over to talk to Ruth. And you know, this is what I like about Ruth. She wasn't trying to seduce him with sexy words. She wasn't dressed sexy, but she caught his eye, and he still wanted to talk to her. And when she finished talking to him, she went back home to her mother-in-law. She told her mother-in-law about the man that she met, and her mother-in-law told her who he was. Then she gave her some direct instructions to follow. See, the Bible said, let the aged women teach the young women. And this young woman followed her mother-in-law direct instructions. And the next time she met Boaz, he was so impressed by her intelligence that he married her. And she had a child. Check this out, young people. The key point. Ruth got married first, and then she had a baby. In America, 750,000 teenage girls become pregnant each year. 1 in 9 births is to a teen mother in America.
You won't see the rain. Everything around you may be dry, but I just want to take a moment to let you.
This is a true story. One day I had a conversation with a client. She told me about her 13-year-old niece who met a young man who was in his 20s. And every time he came in contact with her, he would pressure her to have sex with him. Instead of telling her parents or someone about her problem, she tried to handle it all on her own. But if you are being sexually pressured or bullied young people, you need to tell someone. This little girl became so overwhelmed by that older guy pressuring her to have sex with him. She gave in and had sex with him. A little after that, she became very sick. And she thought she had the flu. So her parents took her to the doctor. And they ran tests on her. And after that, the doctor called her parents and told them to bring their daughter back in. And they brought their daughter back in. And while their parents were sitting in the doctor's office, the doctor told her parents that their daughter had full-blown AIDS. 3 weeks later, she died. Just that quick. Listen, her family was devastated by her death. Young people, this was a one-time sexual encounter with an AIDS-infected person. True saying, you can't judge a book by its cover because looks can be deceiving. Many HIV-positive people look healthy, but they are HIV and AIDS positive. And if you have sex with them, then you will become HIV and AIDS positive. Looks can be deceiving. Listen, I enjoyed my visit with you, but right now, I must go. But if you like what you heard, stay tuned for some further information. God bless you. I love you with all my heart.
I'm keeping myself, I'm keeping myself. All the young ladies from everywhere. All the young women from across the world. We're keeping ourselves.
Do you want to get your youth to live abstinence? Well, I do, and I hope you do too. Where you can, with the Keeping It Real with the HIV and AIDS Facts Dynamics Seminar. Now let me tell you a little bit about our speaker, Odessa Smith. She is wonderful, she's energetic, she's inspiring, and she has an attention-grabbing style that knows how to lock hold to our youth. Now, her teaching combines psychological, educational, and medical research along with biblical stories to help empower and inspire our youth. Now, Miss Smith is a must-have. Now, let me say that again just in case you missed it. Miss Smith is a must-have speaker to your church or your youth event. Now, after each of our seminars, we would like to give our youth what we call our Empowerment Don't Risk It kit. And what it is something tangible that our young people can read on or look at daily to help keep them inspired to live abstinence. Now, we are a non-profit organization on a mission to help rescuing our youth from AIDS and teen pregnancy. Now, this awesome and amazing project does come with a great expense. So we ask that you allow God to touch your heart and send a donation to the Don't Risk It Foundation so we're able to inspire and empower our youth to live abstinence.
If you would like for Odessa Smith to speak at your church or youth event, you can email us or give us a call, and we would love to hear your comments. So email us at don'triskitfoundation@yahoo.com. Now all the letters are lower caps. It's DONTRiskitFoundation@yahoo.com, or give us a call at 870-225-3516. My name is Mwanda, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Walk into the room, they say, we're the young people from the KOS, and we're not trying to deal with that extra stress. Don't have to walk around with the frown, dealing with the knuckle crown, representing purity. I'm in the section with the VIP, chilling with my G.O.D. Don't have to shoot no game on me, shining like I'm platinum gold. My body is a home. All my young people.